In this episode of the Average Tabletop Gamers, we are going to be looking at 7TV from Crooked Dice. Hello, I'm Sven.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Gary.
And today we are going to be having a look at 7TV, more specifically 7TV version 2, Inch High Spy-Fi from Crooked Games.
Now this is a game you've been talking about probably since we were last at the game show last year.
Yeah, so last year we attended Border Reavers at Gateshead International Stadium. We've got some footage from that coming up very soon as well on the channel, so stay tuned for that. And I saw the miniatures for this game a year ago, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And so this year I invested, had a chat with Crooked Dice, had a chat with Carl from Crooked Dice, and learned a lot more about the game and picked up a copy. So we're going to show you what you actually get in the game. But a bit about the game first. So 7TV is a war game.
Yep.
And essentially, instead of the normal war game setup that you have where it's one army versus another army and you may be fighting a historical conflict, what you're going to do here is you are recreating an episode from one of the programs of the fictional 7TV studios. A TV studio knocking out cult classics in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I had visions of you saying, we're going to be doing Sale of the Century.
So, this is the core game, as I say, this is the main box. And the interesting thing about the main box, we'll open it up and you'll see the first thing is, when you get the box, you don't get any minis in the box.
Which is controversial in like modern wargaming because
particularly a miniature-based game.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to the miniatures later and you'll see why you don't get any miniatures in the box. So this is, to say, the core game, and we'll break out what we get in here and we'll go over how the game works as much as we can. What you're mainly paying for in the box is we've got 3 stacks of cards, which we will get into in a moment. We've got some templates, we've got some counters, and we've got some guides. So I'll take all these out, and what we'll do is we'll start going over the contents as we go. So you get two guides in the box. You get a director's guide and you get a producer's guide. So the director's guide is essentially your rulebook.
Okay.
And it's a nice full colour rulebook, lovely pictures in it, and some great humour.
Yeah. Even just when you see the miniatures for this, because we were at the wargame show together and we were all gobsmacked at just how great they were.
So as I say, the idea is that you're actually the director of a TV show. So it actually explains right at the start of the rulebook that there's certain terminology that would be normal in war games that isn't going to be used in 7TV. So for example, a game is an episode. Rather than having action points, you have plot points.
Right.
And instead of having armies, you have a cast.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay for your cast with ratings, and the idea is that, again, as I say, we are shooting a cult show. So one side will be the heroes, one side will be the villains. And the beauty of 7TV is that it isn't restricted to what type of game it is. If spy thrillers are your bag, you can buy a cast that would suit the spy thriller.
Yeah. If
alien invasion is your bag and you like the old Quatermass kind of things, or Moonbase Alpha, you can buy a cast that'll suit that.
Or having seen, as I said, some of the lovely miniatures, you could recreate an episode of The Bill.
Yeah. So yeah,
from the classic police miniatures that you've got.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll see that the games are themed by genre.
Who hasn't wanted PC June Ackland in their game?
Yeah, the game is themed by genre, and so you can use the various cast miniatures in various different genres, and that's where the producer's guide comes in. So the producer's guide is essentially, it's essentially a TV Times from the 60s to the 70s.
Right.
In that this is going to give you what you need to know to cast an episode. So we can see here the genres in the main box. We've got civilian.
Do they still do TV Times and Radio Times? Like,
possibly.
If the doors...
It's like a Sky TV guide.
Yeah.
You press your TV guide button on the Sky. You're free.
But in a magazine you had to buy.
Yeah.
That was only really good at Christmas when you wanted to know when all the good movies were on. But anyway, we're diverging into history there.
So you've got various different genres you can play, and again, this is saying why you don't get the minis in the box. because it would be too restrictive if they said, in the box you're going to get two casts from the Law and Order genre, when actually
you don't want that.
You might want the science fiction.
Right, yeah.
So the genres I've got listed here are civilian, crime, Law and Order, military science, secret and unknown. And we'll see when we get into the casts and the profile cards that some of the profiles will lend themselves to multiple different genres.
Right, okay, yeah. What, like a sci-fi cop show, a la Time Cop, or
it may be you've got an evil genius who's part of an alien invasion show.
I was going to say Dexter's Laboratory, but I think I went too
So
far.
we have various castings you can have, and the castings are all very generic. So one of the things when we were speaking to Crooked Dice at the Border Reavers was they were basically saying they've designed this game so that it's essentially miniature agnostic.
Yeah.
If you want to take an action hero, they don't have a prescribed action hero model. They have many different action hero models, and so it makes the game very tailorable to.
Some meaningful like gamers where you might already have a sci-fi collection if you're a 40k player or
Yeah.
a Warhammer player or
you're
a
bulk
action.
action, you've immediately got your army figures.
Yeah, so that's the thing, because the scale is 28mm, so it lends itself to any of the range of 28mm models, especially things like the bolt action models, the Doctor Who models from Warlord would be great in this.
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, it's brilliant that they've done that you can use models you've already got, and we will come on to them, but their own miniatures are beautiful.
Yeah.
As in, they really are stunning.
Yeah, I saw them and I had to stop myself buying all of them.
So, I'll tell you what, we'll just basically put that page under the close-up if we can. So you'll see there, so that's the page for the Villainous Stars, and you'll see that all of the models they do are a bit tongue-in-cheek, kind of a representation, a pastiche of...
They riff on things.
Yeah, of like existing
Yeah.
TV themes, film themes.
So you can see like there's Crazy Scientists, there's your Bond Girls, that's obviously Inspector Clouseau. You
And
know,
we go up to bigger things as well, so you've got almost like a Swamp Thing type thing.
if you go back to the previous page, I mean the things that I liked on there, when you look at, you've got, is that Hugo Drax from Moonraker, you've got the Mekon from the Dan Dare comic.
I think that's the Red Skull from that one there.
I don't think so, you
No?
know. No.
I think he might be generic, you know...
To be fair,
I mean,
That's Hugo
it does look a bit like Hugo Weaving.
okay. Or if not, it could be even just whatever you're riffing on. It could be a Mel Brooks kind of film.
But yeah, so you pick your cast. So your cast is made up of stars, co-stars.
Oh my god, the producers, Springtime for Hitler. Oh my god, the scope for this is amazing.
And then we get extras. And again, the extras are all kind of set out, so you can pick from here. This is essentially your army list, but your army list for whichever cast you're going to make.
Okay.
And then we get onto the episodes, and these are akin to your scenarios.
Okay.
So the episodes basically define what type of game you're playing, where the location is, what the objective is. And as I say, you're basically directing a TV episode.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that, and we'll see some of the cards here, how they work in the gameplay.
Okay.
So we get the various bits here, the director's guide and the producer's guide.
And this is, it's a skirmish, it's not designed
Yeah.
for huge levels of
So
combat.
you're looking at, for a cast, about 7-8 models,
Okay.
depending on how much you pay for your co-star, your star, and what you pay for in gadgets.
So you're looking at something along the lines like your kill team, your necromancer size games.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what you're getting in the box. This is the main thing. You'll see this with the other Crooked Dice 7TV expansions and other programs that they do. It's based around these profile cards. Over there. And these profile cards are the profile cards for the various different stars, co-stars, and extras.
Is it worth putting one of those under the...
Yeah, so we'll see there, we've got, I'll try and find a
more recognisable...
there's the double agent one which we've got. And
So we've got the miniature for that.
we've got things like the minion. So there's a minion, a classic minion with a flamethrower. So there's a classic boiler suit, hard hat. So you can see the profile cards give you everything you need to know about that character. So we've got the fight, which is how good they are with melee or brawling. We've got shoot, good defense, mind, body and spirit. So these are all the stats that you're going to need during the game, as well as any special effects. And special effects, of course, we're talking about CGI special effects that they would have in the TV show. So then even the cards are themed in terms of what they can do here. And so you'll see some of them have gadgets, and that's the... In fact, I think, the gadgets are in this one. So again, this is another part of it. Again, it lends itself to the genres of the TV shows that you're going to play.
It's got references in the books themselves where I'm looking at here, like ranges, and SMG's got a 16-inch range, but you get +3 to shoot. It's actually got a blast of 3 inches to represent your spraying with a machine gun, so it's cinematic in itself, and it's doing those basic explanations that we probably all familiar with, but you've got to put them in just for your rule purpose.
So your stars and your co-stars can take gadgets, and it depends on whether or not they've got the gadget ability or the gadget skill. But you can see we've got things like classic, things like X-ray specs.
Nice.
We've got a wristwatch buzzsaw.
So it really has just grabbed all the things you loved from the movies you watched as a kid, or the TV shows you watched as a kid, or as an adult.
Bulletproof umbrella.
Nice.
So classic kind of tropes from, you know, all your prisoners, and in fact, there you go, if you want to pop a couple of them just under the dagger shoe. I mean, who throws a shoe? So yeah, you can arm yourself with gadgets. So they're like your kind of upgrades that you get for, you know, your heroes and things that you would imagine in other war games.
Magic items.
So the next cards that we've also got, which are these smaller ones, are the countdown cards. So because the game represents a TV show, and each classic TV show is normally paired off into 3 acts, you get countdown cards for Act 1, 2 and 3. And basically each turn you reveal a countdown card. So you build a deck of these, stacked, normally 6 Act 1, 6 Act 2, 6 finales, and you would turn one of these and it basically has a game effect. So if it's on your turn, you could choose one called Behind the Sofa that says choose one opposing model, move that model into base contact with the closest piece of scenery.
Okay.
So these are themed to add to the feel of the episode as we're going along. So we have blooper reel. Choose one opposing extra, this model becomes knocked down.
That's nice. I like things like that. It's quite
and then we get into things like in the finale, you've got things like plot twist, draw the next 2 cards from this deck and play both of them in any order.
Okay.
And if you can't play them, you get plot points. So again, I say the game's based on plot points, and you get those for doing objectives, and you can spend those per turn. And I think this deck of card is more profiles. So as I say, the one thing that they did say about this game is they're basically arming you with every profile you need to then go out and find the miniatures.
Yeah, they really have got everything, haven't they? And you're just looking through some of these cards. It is, when you were looking through them, I hadn't quite appreciated that soldiers, policemen, aliens.
So this looks like it's actually a lot of these
Does
are
the cast of the last of the summer wine
primitive chieftain. Well, shall we see?
Not yet, but we have got. I mean, so this has got all. This deck looks like it's got a lot of our extras. So we've got army sections.
Yeah.
We've got vehicles, surveillance vans. We've got police cars. We've got a flash motor, which is your Audi Quattro if you're doing one of the crime ones.
Or Ford Granada or something like that from the Sweeney.
And it even includes the Mini Moke, the classic 60s spy vehicle of choice, the Mini Moke.
Or if you're a banana split.
All I want is a small Austin Powers to put in there just so it can do the 99-point turn on the corridor.
Not Austin Powers, though, flamboyant agent.
Flamboyant agent, yes. So yeah, as I say, they give you, so I want to say 150. Something on the top of my head says 150 profile cards. But essentially each one of those cards represents a unit in the game that you can use. So there's a lot of scope there for all of the different genres.
So I think that the one notable genre that's maybe missing from there, and I understand that they did a Kickstarter to cover that, is, I think we're doing that in a separate show, is the horror genre.
So they're doing, specifically they're doing the folk horror
Folk horror, yes.
So
Your Wicker Man's.
yeah, the new expansion, which has just come out on Kickstarter, just been released, I think last week on general release, is the folk horror expansion, which is called Children of the Fields, and that has things like your Wicker Man. It has
Naked Gentleman.
It has the the demonic hunt type thing. You've got characters based off Tubbs and Edward from the League of Gentlemen.
Papa Lazarus.
And Papa Lazarus, called the Hurdy-Gurdy Man in this. So there's loads of great characters and the Little Morris Men. And we've actually got a set of profile cards and the program guide for that. So we'll be doing that one in a future episode. We'll be looking at those and seeing how they compare with the main profiles.
And that is a theme that Carl said they're looking to do. Not the theme of the folk horror, but that style of release through Kickstarter
Yeah, so I think
in the future.
the next one planned, and we saw the models at Border Reavers, is the post-apocalypse.
And they were
which is your
miniatures.
It's your Mad Max, your Death Race kind of.
Yeah, but it's your Mad Max, your Death Race, your Penelope Pitstops of the world, which it's bizarre and hysterical.
And Anthill Mob and Dastardly and Muttley.
And yeah.
I mean, all of these, of course, are not named this,
that. Yeah.
and there's enough distinction you can tell who they are without infringing any kind of copyright.
There's no copyright being infringed at all here.
So, getting back to the box contents, we have a little baggie full of dice and tokens and things. You'll be happy to know, Gary, that these D6 are just D6. Although if you really want, you can buy a set of D6 with the Crooked Dice logo.
No, thank you.
And there's a little television in there as well.
So that is the MacGuffin token.
Okay.
So
you really have read the rules this time around, haven't you?
Yes. So I'm not sure exactly what the MacGuffin token does, but it is integral. I didn't get that far through.
That's what you've come to expect.
It started so well, watchers.
But if you want to quickly sling that under and we'll put some of the tokens. But you'll see the tokens that we've got are nice acrylic etched tokens.
Yeah, that's. Thank you, Mr. Producer. That probably is better showing you in my hand, isn't it?
See, we've got an actual director showing us. And so here's some of the other tokens that we've got. So these are like acrylic etched tokens. So these are what we're using for to denote objectives in the game. The little glass beads, they normally use them as they suggest use these as plot points. So these are what you track your plot points per round. So you get a nice little selection of tokens. Again, all the tokens you need. The one thing it does say is you might need extras, but it just suggests using pennies. Or if you can do a normal game, so you can generally find these as like life beads.
Life beads for like Magic the Gathering, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw them.
And you get a template. So this is a blast template that's going to cover off flamer weapons, it's going to cover off explosions, it's going to cover off anything with an area effect, and you can see it's marked as 3 and 5 inches.
So looking at that looks like it's going to cover off more than that though as well, doesn't it? I mean, that's got...
So I think that's your flamer.
Right.
And then you've got a 3-inch template and you've got a 5-inch template with a centre mark on it as well.
So are there any other rulers or is it just normal
It's just a normal tape measure. So that's the one thing you don't get in the box that you do need is something to measure your ranges. So as you said, the guns and that are all measured in range.
It sounds strange, but especially where this is set, and the fact it's like squarely late 60s, early 70s, early 80s and that kind of thing. This isn't something where you're just thinking this is going to be aimed at a young gamer where it is going to be all inclusive. It gets away with it because actually older gamers are probably going to think I can totally get on board with this, so I've probably got my tape measure, I've got the bits and bobs, and I think if that's what Carl's planned, good on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, much as I'm normally no miniatures in the box, but I love toy soldiers, I can totally see why for this he hasn't done that.
So the way it works when you're buying the box game is it's 50 quid for the box game, which sounds like quite a bit, but the amount of card stock you get in there, and the fact is, you're getting an army list or cast lists, you're getting every profile card you'll ever need to play any of the genres.
It's quality card, and again,
it's good quality card stock. So that's 50 quid. You can buy the casts, so we've got 2 of the cast packs here. So these are £20, but you can get a deal where you get the main game and 2 casts for 75 quid, so you save £15. So 75 quid essentially for a core box with 2 metal starter casts. So
I mean, the weird thing is, even when you look at this, there's a box of a pack of 4 heroes, where I was initially like £15, and I was a bit balking at the price, and then I realised you know, it's less than £4 a model.
Yeah.
You know, and when you start thinking about that for the quality that these are and the way they paint up, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I opted to go for the classic kind of spy, the spy who loved me kind of Bond stuff. So I've gone for the action starter cast and the minion starter cast, where we're going to get sort of your James Bond character plus his mad scientist who looks like he's kind of the Doc Brown model. Then we get 2 Shiva ninjas and 4 of the range that they call the Time Lift security rifles or Time Lift rifles. And then in the minions, you get a Blofeld kind of character with his evil white cat. You get the mad scientist doctor guy. You get whoever Sean Bean played in
Alec Trevelyan, 006.
There you go. You get.
I think you're
fine.
Okay, I've been out-bonded.
That wasn't his real name.
And we get 5. It's 5 of the normal minions, isn't it? Yeah.
It is indeed, yes.
So again, already that themes the game slightly in the way that we're playing. We've got classic action villains, classic action heroes, and the supporting cast. And we've got a few recognisable faces. I also then, on top of that, as you pointed out, I bought the Villains Pack 2, which I didn't realise also has another version of 006, Sean Bean from GoldenEye.
Sean Bean.
But we then get what looks like to be Honor Top from GoldenEye. So we get Hugo Drax from Moonraker looking villain, and we get someone who is your classic Bond femme fatale. In a nice slinky evening dress with a pistol. So again, to get what's essentially going to be another Villainous Star and 3 co-stars, we're going to get for £15. It's quite easy to get, and I'll just quickly pop them in there. So again, that's like a nice little add-on that you can get for the game to theme it.
And what's quite interesting with some of these miniatures, and just to give a little bit of variety, is it looks like certainly on the villain minion starter set, they've actually given the miniatures with a head separately, so you can actually mix and match with it.
Well, you can also do some nice head swaps, so they do actually do alternate head packs on the website. So these ones look like they're all single miniatures, apart from one of the ninjas has a separate arm.
We can provide the links to the website in the comments for you.
But yeah, I mean the models themselves, I mean it's...
Are they going to need much, is there a lot of flash on them?
No, I mean the models themselves are beautiful, and actually the detail on them is great, and this is one of those games where just about every model is going to be a hero model. You know, you're going to spend a bit of time painting these up.
These are absolutely brilliant. Really, really nice.
I mean, they're lovely sculpts.
I would say, to do these justice, you know, myself and Ben are the regular, you know, the painting gurus of the group, really. I don't think we do these justice, to be fair. And I think if you want to really get justice, check out the website, because the paint jobs are incredible. Even things like in the folklore set, the Tubbs or the Miller's Wife, if you look at even just it sounds ridiculous, go and look at the paint job on the skirt on that model. It's outrageous, brilliantly done.
Yeah, it's actually the first time I've seen you looking at other miniatures and just going, I won't even bother.
Yeah, I think I'll leave that one before one. But the other thing that was brilliant about it is the nostalgia factor. Just looking at it, I was like, oh my god, Space 1999. Oh my god, sorry, whatever they may be looking like.
Like the Argonauts or the AB, was it AB? ARC, the Arc space guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just also like the attention to detail. So to accompany the Bond theme,
secret agent theme.
So I also picked up the Henchman pack, which is lovely. So there we're going to get essentially our Jaws and Knick-Knack, Richard Keeland, Herb Villachet.
One of our favourites.
And again, the sculpts on these models is beautiful, especially you see the size of the small henchmen, the knick-knack, and you see the size and you see the quality of the actual sculpt. For what would be probably a 10mm figure in any other range.
Hobbits from Games Workshop. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, check out those guys are lovely sculpts.
That is about the size of one of the Workshop Hobbits, and to be honest, that's one of the things where I struggled to get used to with Games Workshop when they did the Lord of the Rings range was the size of the models, but this actually encapsulates how really well done figures, even at that size, can have exceptional detail in them.
So yeah, I mean, they're like lovely models, and again, it just gives me a little bit of extra that I can put into the game. And again, 2 models for £8.
Brilliant.
Which, for white metal models as well, I can see this game having an awful lot of scope. Just because as soon as you're bored with one genre, you know, you can just go out, buy another 2 casts, and
spice it up a bit.
Yeah, play like with some classic Cockney coppers. You know,
I think the support,
shouty governor.
I was surprised at the level of support that there is that's being put into the game, and the way they've laid it out. Things like the board sections, the extra boards, like that big map they've done, and it was really, really great to see. I can see how accessible it will be with your existing game collection of figures, and just chucking them on for that bit of interest and things to do. It's a fun, interesting game. Weirdly enough, something it reminds me of, for all the role players out there, is a game called Paranoia, which is kind of like a role-playing game you played in between your role-playing games, because it was kind of like a bit of tongue-in-cheek to a degree. There was such a fun element to it that even the most serious gamer would like being gills of laughter when you were playing it. This has got that feel to it, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm really, really excited about playing this.
I think what we'll do is I'm looking forward to getting these guys painted up. I don't know how long it's going to take me to paint these because of my, you know, wondrously quick painting. But also the fact that there's not a single model on these like where you look and go, it's another trooper. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna give them the 3 colours and up. Every single model here is going to be right. This needs to be done just as if it was a character model.
Yeah.
I've also got a bunch of the scenery as well that I've picked up to go with this. So that's the other thing the Crooked Dice do, as you say, to support, as well as doing the models, as well as doing the rules and the cards. They do have a range of laser cut MDF scenery. They've got a range of resin scenery.
Yeah.
They've got all of the vehicles and things are all available in resin with add-on packs and things. So I've got all of that to go. So I think we'll get this all done.
We'll get these done. Then maybe pick those up in another segment, another review.
We'll do some. We'll maybe play a game of this, and we'll show you how much fun it is.
Yeah.
And I say we have the Children of the Fields, which I'll get that broken out. I'll show that off, and you'll see what the current one is, and then again you'll see. I think this game's going to be a lot of fun.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's got a game with plenty of legs on it as well, actually.
Yeah. I think looking for the scope for where they can go with this, it's brilliant.
Well, it's endless almost, isn't it, really? Because this is 70s, stuck back in 70s, 80s.
No doubt they'll end up being like a Simon Temple character, you know what I mean?
So
that kind of thing.
The main flamboyant agent to do is Hugo Solomon, who's quite blatantly based off Peter Wingard's Jason King. And they've got Department X, which are classic. And it's the touches, like they could have basically just said, when you're like, go and sculpt me a bunch of 1940s, 50s British Army.
Yeah.
But what they've done is they've got sculpt me 1940s, 50s British Army, but give them all big 70s sideburns and big tashes. So they all look like they are your jobbing actors in the 70s and 80s who would be in Doctor Who one week, and then, as you say, the Sweeney the next week. And
instead of having Lee Enfield rifles, they've actually got SLRs from the 70s and things like that, so brilliant.
So I'm looking forward to playing this, and I think this is going to be one. So this is going to be a money sink for me. I'm just going to keep buying the models.
Another money sink, you mean?
But yeah, so looking forward to playing this, and we'll come back once we've actually played this a bit. We'll give it a full review, and
maybe do a game run through.
We'll do a bit of a playthrough. Show you how much fun it is. As I was speaking to Carl at the weekend from Crooked Dice, he was saying he's actually got several expansions for this stacked up. In the wings ready, so we know that this game's got legs, and it's whatever floats your boat, which is the thing that a lot of other war games can't do. If you're not into, you know, futuristic battles in the grimdark, you know, 40k is never going to do it for you. If you're not into swords and sorcery, Age of Sigmar or whatever, it's never going to do it for you. But this, whatever is your
and looking at that, we might have to play it offline and then come back and talk about it, because it looks like it's 1 to 4 hours per
Which
game.
for us, it'll be like 12 hours.
And then we'll get it wrong, and I'll come back and make sure we control the fun the next time around by pointing out the rules that we need to be following.
So, I mean, in summary, this is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, you think 50 quid for what's essentially a box of cardstock, but like it's literally, you could beat a villain to death with that cardstock.
I think it's what you are buying with that 50 quid, and it's going to sound a bit corny, is you're buying a lot of future in your gaming.
Yeah.
As in just get some models, put it with your cardstock, and that's you. You've got all the rules, all the expansions you're going to need in this box. You just need to get the models to put with it.
Even your non-gaming family members will be saying, "Is that so and so?" And you'll be like, "Yes, it is." What have you got that for? Well, funny you should say.
So that's it unboxed. So what we'll do is we'll take it away. We're going to play this a bit, and then we'll come back and let you know more about it. As I say, stay tuned, because we are going to be looking at the Children of the Fields expansion for this very soon, and we've got some. We talked to Carl from Crooked Dice a bit more about 7TV at Border Reaver, so that will be coming up soon on the channel. In the meantime, if you want to find out more about the Average Tabletop Gamers, you want to see what we're doing, go and check out the links that are currently flashing across the bottom of the screen: Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us at all of those lovely things. If you're watching us here on YouTube, which I'm sure you are, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, hit the little notify bell so you know when we're going to be posting videos. It's all going to come in your email and things like that and let you know. But until the next time, we've been the Average Tabletop Gamers. This has been 7TV from Crooked Dice. We'll see you soon.
See you later.